No, let me start again. Ha ha ha. Hoo hoo hoo.
Are you not for us?
Hi people, welcome to my channel. My name is Chisum and I am super excited to be on your screen this evening. If you're listening on podcast, a big welcome to you. I'm so glad that you're listening to me. If you'd like to see what my setup looks like, you can come ahead to YouTube and catch me here as well. For my OGs, you guys are familiar with this chair. Now we are 1,600 on YouTube. I can't believe it. When we were about 500, I was shooting in this chair and it just feels so interesting that we've come this far. I want to thank everyone that has subscribed so far. I'm really pumped that you are here. So for today's episode, I will be answering some questions that I got actually this evening. I asked a couple of people, do you have something you want me to answer on my channel? And they sent in questions. So the first question I got is from someone very dear to me actually. When I saw the question, I was like, oh, you're so sweet. So she's asking, how do I get over someone that I dated 4 years ago, right? So she doesn't talk to this person every day. They only talk once in a while. But last time she saw him, her heart fluttered, if I'll put it that way. So first and foremost, I think that's so cute. It's giving lover girl, and it's not something you should feel too bad about. You're human, you have emotions, you have feelings, and especially when there is a gap, like what do I mean by a gap? If you have dated this person, it didn't necessarily end badly, like it's not like you guys fought or there was a very bad ending to it, the feelings can tend to linger longer, right? Especially when you talk to this person once in a while or you happen to be in the same space with this person at any point. So honestly, I think if you are not putting yourself in any precarious situation, like you are not trying to talk to this person every day, you are not texting this person randomly, you are not putting yourself in a compromising situation, I think you're actually fine. Your emotions are reacting. This is someone you deeply cared about. As believers and as adults, we learn not to act on our every emotion. So I think you should give yourself grace. Don't take it too hard on yourself. You cared about this person deeply, and seeing him again brought those emotions up. So just don't, as much as you can, don't give it too much thought. Like nothing is wrong with you. You're working perfectly fine. So it's not a bad thing, I would say. Just be careful not to act on it. Don't randomly say, oh, I was thinking of you today. I just wanted to check and see how you're doing. It's not your business. Don't check and see how you're doing. You left the relationship for a reason. Let's keep it that way. Okay? All right. Then another question I got was actually on devotion. I know it's like a broad spectrum from relationships to devotion, but I asked for questions and these are the questions I got. So I got a question on devotion. Someone was asking that what's the line between giving yourself grace and being complacent in devotion. Now I'll give you a background to how this question came. I'm running a devotional project called Oksano, and today is Friday, today is day 19, so we've been on it for 19 days, and the whole point is to help you stay consistent in devotion, right? So I'm not advertising it, the cohort is closed, but yeah, that's what we are doing right now. And I had sent out a devotional one day, and someone in Oksano responded and asked, where is the line between being gracious to myself when I'm tired or not encouraged to pray or study my Bible, and where am I being complacent? I think many times if you ask yourself honestly, you would really know the line. I'll give you an instance. I went for a work event yesterday and I loved it. It was amazing. I know it's weird to say you love the work event, but I actually loved it. I met amazing professionals. It was great. Maybe I'll talk about that some other time. But when I came back, I had this horrible headache. I haven't had a headache that bad in as long as I can remember. It was so bad. I was trying to eat. The food was like, it wasn't as enjoyable as I would have wanted because my head was really banging. But the side to it is that I had not prepared Oxano for today. It wasn't ready. It wasn't ready to be sent out. So I just wanted to go to my bed and just lie down and sleep. And I had just cause because I was tired. I was tired. Let's just put it that way. I was very tired. And as I was climbing the stairs to my room, I was like, God help me. Like, I'm actually so tired. It's all those prayers that you don't actually voice out, but in your head, yeah, just like, God help me. If you don't help me, I don't know. And my idea of God helping me was him waking me up by maybe 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. for me to continue from where I stopped. But as I got to the room, I oddly felt like watching a series I've been on, right? So I was like, okay, let me just watch this series till I sleep. And then I saw my laptop. So I'm like, to pick my laptop or to watch this series? To pick my laptop or to watch this series? And I used the last ounce of will in me to walk to my laptop, and I sat there. And as I sat there, the strength just came. Like the headache, did I say headache? The headache left, and I was able to complete the devotional. I was so sure there was the grace of God at work in me. Why did I share that example? I could have chosen to go to bed and just watch Monk. That's the series I'm currently watching. I could have gone to bed and just continue watching it. And if you've watched Monk or any series, you will know, you say, let me just see what happens in the next episode. And before you know it, you thought that you were going to sleep in 10 minutes, but you are here 2 hours later. So for me, the line between giving myself grace and complacency in that moment was choosing either going to my laptop and just trying to push, or picking that series. Like, if I had the strength to watch the series, I had the strength to pick my laptop, and I could tell in that moment, right? So there are moments where the strength is not just there, but for me, in that moment, there was a choice. It was a hard choice because I was tired, but I could identify that I still had the ability in me to pick it. So when you know you're being complacent is when you can honestly recognize that the ability or strength is there, even if it's in its minutest form, and you don't pick it. That's being complacent. So I hope that example helps. I hope it helps you. Another question I got is, how do you stop your mind from wandering when you are praying? This happens a lot. It happens to the best of the best of it. It happens to your pastors. It happens to everybody. And there are people that have hacked it better, right? So I'll just tell you what works for me and what I advise people to do generally. So when you want to pray, especially if you want to pray for a long time, I generally advise that you pray in your understanding. Now, I'm all for praying in tongues. It's powerful, it's beautiful, it's intimate. But I find that sometimes we tend to veer off and just lose track of what we are praying for when we are just praying in tongues and praying mindlessly, right? It's possible to pray in tongues for long hours and be focused. But what helps me, and I found helps others as well, is as much as you can, pray in your understanding. So let's say you want to pray in tongues. You're concerned about something, you don't know what to do, and you want to pray in tongues. That's what your heart is stirring you to do. So if I was you, or if I were you and I was going to do that, I would start, oh Lord, this thing is confusing me. I would tell Lord how I feel. Like, I'll pour it out as much as I can in my understanding. Then I will start praying in tongues. And as I'm praying in tongues, I will punctuate my prayers by affirming things like, oh, as I pray, I receive clarity from the Lord. As I pray, I receive direction from the Lord. It helps me. It helps me so much. It's an absolute game changer. And then sometimes when I find myself wondering, I try to pinpoint why. So maybe if I'm wondering because my data is on while I'm praying, I switch it off. If I'm wondering because the instrumentals I'm using to pray, I'm starting to, vibe more to the instrumentals than what I'm actually praying, I put off the music altogether. So two things: identify what is distracting you, and as much as possible, pray in your understanding. I hope this helps. I'm going to stop the video here today. Yeah, just for today. I'm going to continue next week with more questions or an entirely different topic. It depends. But yeah, if you have more questions, please let me know in the comment section. I'll be more than glad to respond to them either in comments or in a new video. Till my next video, my name remains Chisom. I haven't changed, and I will see you next week. Bye.